What's up everyone, welcome to Thursday night's late night agenda. Tonight we are doing our Crystal Palace preview. In case you don't know, my name is Craig, I'll be your host. You are very, very welcome along. Great to see so many people in the chat before we start. I hope everybody's keeping well. The cold nights have set in, ladies and gentlemen. 4 o'clock now and it's getting dark. It hurts the soul, I'm not going to lie, but I hope life is treating you all well. There's a load for us to get through. We've done it. We've got through the international break. We stuck together and we got our asses through it. It's a countdown now to the 3pm kickoff on Saturday. Liverpool travel to London to take on Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. It's a massive game, ladies and gents, and one I want your opinion on. You can see my team there. I'm going to go through my predicted 11 for the game, my score prediction as well. There are a few other little bits and pieces I want to talk about tonight, so I thought maybe we'll get to the team stuff, don't worry about that, but I thought maybe we could chat with a little conversation around the fact that Liverpool have begun a consultation process with local residents about the possibility of revising plans to increase the capacity of the new Anfield Road development. As you guys know, there was planning permission that would have increased the total by 4,000 seats. They let that lapse in September because they wanted to push on with bigger plans, and they know that they've made mistakes in the past with regards to residents and stuff, so they want to open this consultation process. The first meeting is going to take place in the Cop Bar at the end of the month. I think it's the 29th, could be the 27th, it's one or the other, but it is on the club site if you want to go and check that as well. And the club hope to allay any fears that local residents may have about increased traffic, noise, all the type of stuff that goes with increasing the size of that stand. That being said, we all know the Annie Road end needs to be done. It needs to be done badly. The capacity of Anfield needs to be brought up as high as possible. And this, whatever they do, will take that capacity plus past 60,000, I think. Don't want to get too specific with numbers because, quite frankly, nobody knows as of yet. But it is so fucking important that they get this done. And yes, we're building the new training facility at the minute, and it would be very unlikely that the club would start anything before that gets built. It's unusual for a club to take on two capital projects like that at once. So we're going to see that facility built first of all, and then I guess we're going to have to wait and see what the club have up their sleeve with regards to the Annie Road end. Have you seen the Kirby development video? I have, Brian. It is, to borrow a phrase from our Scouts friends, boss. It is absolutely fucking quality, mate. Yeah, it'll be the envy of many clubs in the Premier League. Look, Spurs have a magnificent training ground, for example, but United as well, but it is fantastic. And it's Jurgen Klopp's vision to bring the younger players and the senior players together in one facility, and yeah, long may fucking that happen. I mean, it's a shame. I mean, leaving Melwood is going to be tugging on the heartstrings of many, many people. It's been iconic for Liverpool Football Club, but unfortunately, whereas with Anfield, they looked at it and thought, you know what, we can do what we need to do and redevelop Anfield. They had to move from Melwood because they just couldn't do it. So the club have backed Jurgen Klopp to the tune of 50 million with that one. Let's see what they have up their sleeve for the Annie Road end. Loads of people talking to me about Robbo and Mo training today. Fair enough. I still don't think they're going to start on Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. Robbo maybe. I mean, I've gone very protective over Robbo at my 11. I don't think he's going to start. I don't know about Mo. With Mo, I would rest him. I just don't think there's any unnecessary risks to be taken with Mo Salah. There's a busy month coming up in December. We're going to Qatar for the Club World Cup. I have a little bit about that to talk about later on as well. But yeah, no, I hear you. And I want both of them to start. And I will be very, very happy if I'm wrong come Saturday afternoon and Mohamed Salah and Andy Robertson start. I mean, you won't get an argument from me about that one. But loads of you let me know they trained today. And that is good news because we had thought, there was talk that maybe Salah was out for a month. That was doing the rounds on social media as well. So look, it is good news that at least they're training. I just don't see them starting this game. There's more of a chance maybe of Robbo, but again, look, this is just my personal guess, ladies and gentlemen. I have no inside knowledge of the football club. My mate's brother helped make the pool in the new Kirby place. That's class. That's class, Alex. Imagine having some small input. I hope he's a Liverpool fan. If not, then it probably doesn't mean as much to him, but yeah, imagine being able to have some small input, like so the guys that would have been working on the new main stand and stuff. It would be amazing. Lens-based media LBM said, great to hear they're trying to increase the capacity. Hopefully we'll listen to residents. Main problem is that Anfield Road is very narrow. How will they deal with additional foot traffic to avoid the crush? I have no idea, buddy. I have absolutely no idea, and I'd be cutting you if I sat here and tried to give you any explanations. This is why we're all waiting eagerly to see what the residents of course have to say, and then what plans the club have. Elmer said, well in Craig, like looking and sounding much better today. Thank you, buddy. Still have a bit of a head cold, believe it or not. It just won't go away, but I am definitely on the road to recovery, mate. Definitely feeling a lot better than I have over the past couple of weeks. I probably owe you guys a bit of an apology. I haven't been streaming as often as I usually would. Usually you probably get 5 or 6 days a week with me, but with being unwell and with having to run around to doing stuff, I haven't been able to stream as much. I did, however, last night record a podcast with the guys at Coppish. I think Drifty said that's going to be out on Friday, which is tomorrow. Really, really enjoyed it, talking to the guys over there. It was so much fun. The podcast was basically about a Liverpool 11 from the last 10 years. And it was really good fun. And I'm going to have the guys over here for a chat as well at some point. If you haven't subscribed to Coppish, I'm sure you guys know who Drifty is. Go over to Coppish. There's Drifty, there's Callum, the rest of the gang over there. Check them out. Great channel. Another great Liverpool channel putting out good content. And it was a pleasure to go on and have a chat with the guys. As it was with the Cop Council and Conor Niblett last week as well. And having Boya on last week from a Leicester City perspective was brilliant. So look, lots of great fan content out there. Please do go and check it all out. What have we got? Initial a title, lol. I don't know what that means, Stephen. Maybe I've missed part of the conversation. Right, any other comments to go on the Any Road end before we push on? I want to make sure I get through as many of your comments as I can. No need to keep the players healthy. No need to push them. Who was that said that one? Sorry, let me just go up and scroll back. Darkness says need to keep the players healthy. No point in rushing them back to risk further injury. Origi can do a job, said Harry V. Scotty said, Craig, my dad said Klopp will rest Robbo and Mo for Napoli at home on Wednesday. There is that as well, Scotty, but your dad makes a very good point. It's a huge game. We win that game against Napoli next Wednesday and we're pretty much qualified top of the group. We don't have to worry about going over to Salzburg and needing to get anything from the game. So, yeah, I fully understand where your dad's coming from. Ken, Coastal Holiday Let's, how are we? Carl and Julie, on your last night of your holidays. I hope you had a wonderful holiday, mate, and safe journey home as well. Joshua, how are you, sir? Welcome in. Evening, Craig. How did the kitchen hunting go? Not well, Colin, mate. Unfortunately, as things stand, it looks like can't afford it. But hey, that's one of those things, mate. You know what I mean? You go out and you give it a bash, and the bank balance doesn't seem to be able to stretch to the kitchen. So you never say never. We'll get a few more quotes. It was a very disheartening day, though. I'm not gonna lie. But look, no one's here to listen about my kitchen woes, mate. We're here to talk about Liverpool Football Club. The women are 5-0 up against Blackburn. Yes, delighted for them. Absolutely fucking delighted for them. Yeah, it hasn't been the greatest start to the season for the LFC ladies, but to be 5-0 up at Blackburn, that is a quality result. Dave Sweeney said Salah is a beast and can work through the pain injury. Played against City, he has 2 weeks. Or he's had 2 weeks. Yeah, but mate, if there's any doubt about him whatsoever, again, just a personal opinion here, Dave, I'd rest him because there's so many games coming up, mate. So many. Liverpool don't get clean sheets at Benjamin Tyrrell. Yes, I can't argue with you, Benjamin, mate. We've won a lot of games 2-1, 3-1 and stuff this season, but surely, mate, the main thing is that we are picking up the results. I get where you're coming from. Last year, we were phenomenal in defence. This year, for whatever reason, mate, maybe it's that we haven't had the same solidity with regards to centre-backs or whatever. Yeah, it's difficult to argue your point because it's right, but my point, I suppose, is that we're 8 points clear to the top of the Premier League, mate, so we're doing something right. Not that you're suggesting for 1 minute that we aren't. Well done to Marcus, you love it. Said Bernadette Farrell, I don't know what that was about. Oh, my dad bought tickets to the Liverpool-Everton game, sorry. It'll be my first time at Anfield. That is class, Marcus, and much like Bernadette has said, absolutely delighted for you, buddy, and you'll have a wonderful time. Chris Beerham said thoughts on Rafa to Arsenal would spice up the North London derby. I haven't heard it, Chris. I haven't heard it, mate, at all, but I love Rafa. I mean, I do. I love him. Even though we went manage Chelsea and all that, I love Rafael Benitez. And the Premier League would be a better place for having him back in it. So, would Arsenal be the right move for him? It's a great club. I mean, I think the fans will get behind Rafael Benitez. I haven't heard the rumour, but it would be interesting. Can you imagine that? Rafa managing Arsenal and Jose Mourinho managing Spurs. Yeah, it would make things interesting, as you said, definitely. What's the news that I've missed? Nothing, mate. We haven't talked about it yet. All we spoke about was the fact that Liverpool are looking to start a consultation process over the Annie Road end and the redevelopment there. Craig growing a little goatee, I see. It's funny, isn't it? People always say that, but I haven't shaved the sides either. It's just that I've told you before, I can't grow facial hair. So this is me genuinely not having shaved anywhere for the past 5 days, 6 days, something like that. I just can't grow facial hair. I'm pathetic in that regard. So yeah, that it's not a goatee. This is genuinely just me growing facial hair, and this is what I've got. Like, yeah, do you know what I mean? It's not just some missing up here; it's missing everywhere. What have we got? Salah's the best player Liverpool have had in the last 10 years, said Carl. Craig, think about keeping your units and changing the doors. The units are shit, Bernadette. That's the whole point. We thought through that. They're just shit. They're chipping away. It's a cheap ass council kitchen that's in it. We live in a council house, Bernadette. It's just shit. It's just not worth keeping any of it. If you're gonna rip it out, rip it all out. But I do get where you're coming from, and thank you for the advice. I do appreciate it. I'm feeling really good. Do you know what? I'm so happy to be back on here tonight, guys, and chatting about the Reds. Evening all, said Lee. How are you, Lee? Welcome in, mate. Could Arsenal even afford Rafa's transfer fees? He's still in contract in China. That, John, I could not answer, my friend. Maybe there's a clause in Rafa's contract that if X, Y, or Z come in for him, then it's a lesser release clause or something, mate. But that's complete guesswork on my part, and I don't know. But I would like to see Rafa Benitez back in the Premier League. I'm not going to lie. I love the guy. How am I feeling? I'm feeling a bit better, thank you, Joshua. Thank you very much. I think I'm at the tail end of whatever this 12 week. I think it is 12 fucking weeks of being sick. But I think I'm at the tail end of it. But you guys have got me through it as well. So thank you very much. As long as Rafa doesn't go to United or Everton, I don't care, said Kent Holiday. Right, look. Trying to sport the Fu Manchu look, Craig. That's it. Ming the Merciless Darkness, mate. Yeah, nothing. I get it. I mean, people have called me that in the past, mate, so I absolutely get where you're coming from. We can only win one, Napoli or Palace. As in, which one? Oh, Benjamin, don't be playing that game, mate. Let's go with the let's piss all over both of them, mate, and destroy both of them. Would that be more fun? Right, ladies and gentlemen, let me take you through my predicted 11. And again, I'm bearing in mind here that I think Andy Robertson and Mohamed Salah won't quite make this game. If I'm proved wrong, I will be very, very happy to be proved wrong. I'm going with a score prediction of a 2-0 win for Liverpool. Usually, when we're away from home, I give the home team a goal. So I usually go 2-1, 3-1, something like that. But as our friend pointed out earlier on, we're due a clean sheet. We haven't had one, or enough of them lately. So I'm going to go with us keeping a clean sheet. So the 11 that I've gone with, and I'm sticking with the 4-3-3 formation. Alisson in goal. Trent Alexander-Arnold at right back, Virgil van Dijk to be partnered by Dejan Lovren, which seems to be at the moment Jurgen Klopp's preference. Now, Joe Gomez is available for the game, it looks like, which is good news as well, but I still think Degsy Lovren's going to start there alongside Van Dijk. Obviously, if Robertson's out, I've moved James Milner into the left back position. Midfield trio for me, Fabinho, I mean, he's got to start, hasn't he? The man is absolute quality. Jordan Henderson, I think he would have gotten over his virus and he will be ready to go. And I have to see Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain in there. I know there could be some shouts to play Chamberlain in the front three. I understand that completely. For me, I like to see him coming from midfield. So I'd like to see Henderson and Fabinho and then giving Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain a little bit of room in behind to have a run at the Crystal Palace defence. Then for me, I'll play Divock Origi on the left-hand side. I will play Bobby Firmino to the centre, and I would play Sadio Mane on what is his favourite side, the right-hand side of Liverpool's attack. So that's what I'd go with. I'd love to know your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen, what 11 you'd go with, your predictions for this game, what you're expecting from Crystal Palace. The human owl / emu that is Roy Hodgson. He definitely never managed Liverpool, not in my head. I mean, we spoke about this on the Copies podcast the other night. Somebody brought up Paul Konchesky and said, who? Nah, never heard of him, mate. Definitely didn't play for Liverpool. Never my club. The gap should stay at 8 points, said Hadaway. 3 points is a must. I agree, mate. It is. But it ain't going to be easy. There's no such thing as there is such thing as an easy game in the Premier League, but there's very rarely an easy away game in the Premier League. The lineup should be strong, said Hadaway as well. Willow's in. How are you, Willow? Hope life is treating you well. Hope the family are well. Dave Sweeney's going 7-0 to the pool. Salah hat-trick and a couple for what's his Trent and Chamberlain as well. No Genie after his hat-trick for Holland. It was a difficult choice, John. Absolutely, mate. It was a really difficult choice because I love Genie, but I need Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain to start. And away from home, I think Jordan Henderson will probably get the nod, but I love Genie, mate. There's no argument for me. If Genie Wijnaldum was to start, I'm not at all worried because I love Genie and he's a wonderful footballer. But I think Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, not only has he been knocking down the door, I think he's nearly kicked the fucking thing through at this point. He's trying to make such a good point, and he's playing so well. I fancy Chelsea to get a point at City, so win at Palace could be massive, said Brian Morrissey. That being the 5:30pm kickoff on Saturday evening, for those of you that aren't aware of that one. We will, of course, be doing a watch-along of the game here on Saturday, starting from 2:30. How on earth I'm going to watch it, I'll figure that out, but we will be doing it. We need to win this weekend. Hope we smash Palace. I'm also looking forward to Manchester City versus Chelsea. Should be a good game as well. So Darkness, one season wonder. What you been smoking, to John Hamilton. With regards to Salah, I mean, yeah, they can keep calling on that. John will just keep smiling, mate, and giving thumbs up. What about Genie? Where do I put him? Pat, mate, that's the problem. Do I drop Jordan Henderson? Not away from home for me, not with his work ethic. And I can't leave out Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. I just can't. Unless, of course, I mean, there is the game on Wednesday as well, let's not forget. So we could see Gini Wijnaldum come into what has been Jurgen Klopp's favourite midfield trio for that game. Fabinho, Henderson and Gini, maybe for the game against Napoli. But, I mean, there are difficult decisions to be made, and this is just my guess. I'm usually wrong when it comes to these things. So, prediction for City and Chelsea, asks Harry. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to predict a handy Manchester City win, because when I've predicted that in the past, it's usually been close. So I'm going to go for a handy Manchester City win, Harry. Something like 3-1, mate. Craig, what is Liverpool win and City lose this week? I don't know what you mean. What is it? The odds? I've no idea if that's what you're getting at. Marcus said, what do you think about the new training ground, Kirkby? Kirby looks amazing, mate. I'm not gonna lie, it looks absolutely phenomenal. The video footage and the images that are out there, the gym looking out onto the pitches as well, it looks phenomenal. It really does, and it's what this club needs. And fair play to FSG for backing Jurgen Klopp's vision, because it was his vision to bring the underage players and the senior players together under one facility, because it inspires people. It stops this border between the first team and the younger players. It allows them to integrate together, eat together, do all the things, to make that step forward easier for the younger players. And it also will allow Jurgen Klopp to keep a closer eye on them as well. And do you watch Formula 1? Very fleetingly. Yes, here, mate. I wouldn't be a massive fan, but I do try and keep up to what's going on in Formula 1, I should say. But no, I wouldn't call myself an advocate. Or an advocate? No. I'm still sick. My mind's still playing tricks with me here. I wouldn't call myself an active watcher, even though that's still not the phrase I was trying to use. Do you think if City draw or lose this weekend, it's ours? Sonia, I've got to be honest, mate. I don't know if I said this to you guys before or not, but I genuinely felt that if we beat Manchester City, it was ours. I'm going that early. I'm not going to brag about it. I'm not going to go out and say we're winning the league. I'm not going to say it's in the bag. But in my head, if we beat Manchester City and open up a 9-point gap over them, I know it's an 8-point gap over Chelsea and Leicester, I see it very hard for us to have that clawed back in, because they're dropping points throughout the rest of the season. So if we take, for example, they draw 2 games for the rest of the season, that would leave us to need to drop, 13 points? And it's going to be very difficult to see where we drop 13 points and them only dropping 4. So for me, it's looking good. But December is a huge month. And I think if we still have anything from a 6-point gap onwards at the end of December, for me, I mean, start carving it. That's how confident I'd be. Would you prefer Chelsea to win or draw against City? Draw. Both of them dropping points would be great, mate. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I still think Manchester City will be the team that challenges us or closest before the end of the season. But yeah, I'd take a draw. Definitely. How can I watch Liverpool versus Palace game? No idea, Harry. It's not on television, mate, in the UK and Ireland, so you have to get creative, I suppose, buddy, like the rest of us. Yeah, I don't even know how I'm going to watch it yet, but I'll find a way. Where there is a will, there's always a way. Right, what have you got? Chelsea and City draw. Avid, that's definitely the word I was looking for, John. Thank you, sir. Avid is absolutely the word I was trying to get out of my mind. Thank you. You're a gent, John. Thank you very much. Do I have a favourite sport apart from football? Boxing, mate. Anyone that watches the channel on a regular basis knows that I am a massive boxing fan. Yeah, so boxing. So I'm looking forward to Saturday night as well, because there's some good fights on. What's happening to Melwood? It's been sold, mate, for I think affordable housing, if my memory serves me correct, but it's been sold to a developer. That much I'm definitely sure of. The maximum amount of points Manchester City can get is 103. There's no way or no way they'll reach that number of points, said Bruno. Exactly, mate. It's looking pretty fucking good, pal, isn't it? It is. It's too early to start jumping up and down and saying it's our year and all that jazz, but it's going to take a lot for anybody to pull us back in. Did you guys see Sven-Goran Eriksson was on Sky Sports today? And he's basically come out and said that he's been a Liverpool fan his entire life and that he's never really said that to anybody. And yeah, another one. And then we had Eddie Jones, the England manager. Unfortunately, he was on talk show, but he was talking about the last sporting event he attended outside of rugby was Liverpool's game against Barcelona at Anfield, and he said that he's never experienced an atmosphere anything like he experienced at Anfield that night. He said it was amazing, the place was shaking, and he said basically said it blew his mind how good Anfield was that night. It was quality. Always good to hear somebody as a high achiever as Eddie Jones is. I mean, the man's a phenomenal coach. So to hear him come out and say that the Anfield atmosphere, look, that was a special night. Don't get me wrong, that isn't an every week thing, but yeah, it's still great to see Liverpool getting the props it deserves and the fans and the atmosphere inside Anfield getting what it deserves. I mean, God, if we could relive that Barcelona night over and over and over again. I mean, if I had to have one Groundhog Day in life, that could be it, you know. I wouldn't be too far off being it. Shay said, hopefully Robertson and Salah are fit for the weekend. I don't think they will be, Shay. But again, as I said earlier on, buddy, I'm more than happy to be wrong on that one. City will wipe the floor with Chelsea 4-1, said Dave Sweeney. It's our year, said Kent Coastal Holiday. I just know you was Carl, mate. It's really hard for me to read that out when I know it's you. But I get where you're coming from. Got a business to promote and all that, mate, and I'm happy to do it for you because you're an absolute gent. Cop Council is in the house. How are you, Connor? Said, anyone else watching the Champions League final and Barcelona highlights, or was it just me? Not so much the Champions League final, but definitely the Barcelona highlights. I've watched those God knows how many times, Connor. It's just one of those nights, isn't it? Yusuf reckons it'll be City 2 and Chelsea 2 on Saturday. Joshua Fernandez said, will I get a new tattoo if Liverpool win the league this year? Yes. I've actually been discussing that with my wife, mate. I still have half a sleeve to get done on my left arm. But I wouldn't include the Liverpool tattoo one there. But yes, I would have to, wouldn't I? I mean, 30 years, I'd have to. Yeah, I'd have to, and probably film it as well for content, just for the laugh. 6-0 for the women, said Jack's Pay's nice. Well, what a result. That would boost confidence massively. I mean, it's no secret they've been struggling this season, but a 6-0 win, well done. That's absolutely phenomenal. Lee guy said, I'm going to make sure I get my hands on a ticket next year. I don't care what home game. Well, it looks like myself and Connor are heading over to the Aston Villa game in April. Flights are booked, hotels booked, tickets are sorted out. All that we're hoping on now is that it isn't moved for TV. I mean, we can cope with any of the Saturday kickoffs or any of the Sunday kickoffs, but if it's moved to Friday or Monday, we're going to have to get creative again. But yeah, really looking forward to that one. It's been fucking too long since we've been inside the stadium for a game. We were there for a couple of screenings for the Champions League games. We were there last season for the last game of the season, but we weren't inside the ground. We did a meet and greet with you guys, the beer keller in Liverpool. And yeah, it's going to be lovely to get back over and get in. And hopefully we'll be close. Hopefully we'll be close to winning the league at that point. Kent Holiday Coastal, let's catch you soon, Craig. Enjoy your last night, mate, and on your holidays, and safe travels home to you and Julia. Love to you both. What else we got? Klopp needs to start Oxlade-Chamberlain. Yes, Asney, mate. Sorry for the shout there, but yes, I'm with you. What does he have to do, mate? I mean, he's got to get a start, doesn't he? He's been playing so damn well, and man knows how to shoot from outside the box, and I love that. PJ Ladd said, sorry for joining late, Craig. Did I miss anything? Not at all, mate. Never apologise. It's always a pleasure to have you in. No, we were just chatting about the Anfield Road redevelopment, mate, and now we're just talking about the Crystal Palace game. As you can see on the screen, I've got my starting 11 up there, but I'd love to know what you guys think. Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder? I think Tyson Fury beats them all. Yes, here, if I'm being honest. I mean, he beat Deontay Wilder, whichever way they want to try and rob him of that victory. He beat Deontay Wilder in my eyes. I just think he's the best boxer of the three of them. I think Anthony Joshua, if he fights Fury at the right time, would have a chance. But with Wilder, he's got that really unique power, but he's also so gangly and awkward, and his punches come from really weird angles. His fight against Luis Ortiz is going to be interesting as well. I mean, I know Ortiz buzzed him in the last fight, and fair play to Wilder, he came through it and knocked him out, but Yeah, it's another interesting fight there, and then of course we've got Anthony Joshua fighting to try and get his titles back against Andy Ruiz Jr. in December, and then it looks like Dillian White could be on the undercard of that one. Actually, just waiting for confirmation on that one. How did I get my tickets? Do you know what? I can't give out a name because I don't want to give out someone's personal information, but a very, very kind subscriber, Sonia, contacted us about tickets and said that um, they'd be willing to give up their two tickets for myself and Connor for the two season tickets for this game, which means the world to us because I've been saying it like everybody else. It's near on impossible to get tickets to Anfield, without paying Hollywood prices. And this subscriber very kindly contacted us and offered us up the tickets, and I can't tell you how much it means to us. It really does mean the world, and we're really excited about getting over again. What's the news with the Annie Road end? Basically, mate, they're starting a consultation process, starting at the next weekend, I think it is, with local residents, to just make sure that they listen to any feedback that they have, any worries that they have about potential noise and stuff like that, and just to try and start the process before they put in planning permission. But it'll also mean that they're going to start putting out some ideas about maybe what type of capacity we can expect. The figure of past 60,000 keeps getting mentioned. Hey Craig, Fury all day, said Joe Tony. Yeah, he's quality, isn't he, Tyson Fury? Like, to have the footwork that he has, and the boxing ability and the reach, obviously, put it all together with his charisma, which doesn't really matter to the boxing ring. But yeah, I mean, Tyson Fury for me is the best boxer of the three of them. I like Dillian White as well. Who's my favourite boxer of all time? It's a very difficult question to ask, or to answer. Excuse me. I didn't mean to say ask. Answer. Look, I grew up idolising Mike Tyson. I know he's had his faults, massive faults, but grew up idolising Mike Tyson. Loved Sugar Ray Leonard. I was a massive fan of Oscar De La Hoya as well. Even though, yeah, I still to this day think he beat Floyd Mayweather, by the way, when he fought him. But yeah, I was a massive fan of Oscar De La Hoya. Who else did I like growing up? I mean, I followed Ricky Hatton's career obviously very closely as well. From an Irish perspective, Carl Frampton. Obviously, absolutely love Carl Frampton. Bernard Dunn, going back a little bit further again before that, I was there when Bernard Dunn won his world title as well. That was absolutely amazing. Beer Keller ain't been there since I was about 16, 17. It's class. I love it, Lee. It's, yeah. And they were very welcoming to us as well when we were there. And yeah, it was a great place to do the meet and greet, or the watch along, or whatever you want to call it. Just to meet up with people when we were over there. Craig Weston says Wilder beats all. Well, he lost to to Tyson Fury, mate. I mean, he was robbed. Let's be fair about it. You can talk about the slow count. I understand people's point on that one, but for me, Fury beat him easily. Fury hadn't got sloppy in the last round, he would have walked away with those belts, or with the WBC belt. But look, it is just about opinions, mate. And hopefully, what we all want to do is see the best fight the best. So hopefully the fights get made. What's this? Doal Salfin? Is that how you pronounce your name, mate? Sorry if I got that wrong. So come on, Chelsea, Liverpool top of the league. What barber do you go to? Need a trim? Yeah, I could give you an answer, a funny answer. I could say your ma, mate, as an example, your sister. Yeah, but I use a fucking razor, mate. Clearly, stinky feet. Come on. If you're going to come in and banter me, mate, you need better than that. I mean, I'm used to a higher level of banter than that. So, give you another chance to come back and let's see if you can actually say something funny this time. I doubt it, based on your first comment, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, mate, and presume you're not a complete idiot. Mike Tyson to David Newell. My favourite scrap. What's this? Scrap? I don't know what that's supposed to say. What else we got? Joe Calzaghe was so underrated. That's a great shout, David Newell, because what? Joe Calzaghe finished with an unblemished record, and a lot of people avoided Calzaghe. That's a very good shout. Very underrated boxer. Prince Nassim was class. I watched, there's a documentary on Sky actually about him that I watched recently. Let's get back to football, Christ. I mean, you guys are dragging me off in a boxing direction here. It's usually the other way around. What's your dream heavyweight fight, and what's your any division dream fight in boxing? Dream heavyweight fight, look, it's probably the obvious one that a lot of people want to see. Fury against Joshua. I mean, I want Joshua to go and beat Ruiz Jr., and I think he will. But yeah, Fury, Joshua, I just think it's a massive fight. Arturo Gatti versus Mickey Ward was just a ridiculous fight. Hagler Hearns was another absolute barnstormer. What would be my favourite any division fight? It's so difficult to say. Okay, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll stick to cruiserweights, and I'll go Evander Holyfield against Alexander Usyk. I think that would be an absolutely unbelievable fight. One for the ages. I mean, Holyfield started off, I think he unified cruiserweight division before he went up to heavyweight. So yeah, at cruiserweight, Usyk and Evander Holyfield. That would be a fight I'd like to see. Going back maybe down the weights a little bit. I mean, we all wanted to see Mayweather Pacquiao when they were both in their prime, and not when Pacquiao was injured and the fight was just a complete letdown. So that was another one. A lot of the fights we wanted to see over the years have been made, though. It's a shame Brooke Khan wasn't made maybe 3-4 years ago as well. What have we got? Calzaghe was amazing and lives around 8 to 10 miles from me, said John Cable. I'm a massive Joe Calzaghe fan, mate. Yeah, him and his dad, what a team. I remember his dad in the corner one time slapping him across the face in between rounds, trying to get his attention, trying to get him to focus. What else we got? Rocky Balboa, said David. What a film! I fucking love Rocky. I absolutely love Rocky Balboa. What a set of films. Tyson versus Marciano or Ali, said Stephen Booker. Who do you think will win the Champions League? Honestly, Sonia, I know it sounds arrogant, but it's going to take one hell of a team to knock us out. And I don't see many teams, like Manchester City, of course, over two legs, that'll be a barnstormer of a game. I don't see many teams that I fear. I mean, Barcelona, I think we probably should have dealt with a hand here over the two legs. I mean, we lost 3-0 at the Bernabeu, but it was never a 3-0 game. And then we took them apart at Anfield without Mohamed Salah, without Bobby Firmino, and with only having Andy Robertson for half the game. So, Real Madrid, a bit of a shambles at the minute. Juventus, Ronaldo's getting a bit petulant there. Is he on the wane a little bit perhaps? I don't know. Still a very good side. Bayern Munich, I don't rate them too highly. I don't know. It's very difficult to see anybody beating us, but of course, in knockout football anything can happen. But I would have to say we're right up there. Do we prefer if the any road gets built upwards or outwards? Whatever works, Lee, is the answer for me, mate. Did anyone see the video doing the rounds of Bobby Firmino playing the piano, but they've changed the music over it to him piano of We've Conquered All of Europe. It's a good video. The Anfield Rap tweeted it out if you want to go and check it out on there. Whoever beats us lifts it, said Billy Lar. It's a really good point, Billy. I'm with you on that one, mate. Did you hear that Messi will be present at the Ballon d'Or ceremony? Thoughts? That he's going to stand there and applaud as Virgil van Dijk walks up to collect his Ballon d'Or award, Joshua. That's my thoughts on that one. And if Virgil van Dijk doesn't win the Ballon d'Or this year, then you might as well fucking throw your hat at it, because what would a defender have to do to win that award again? I mean, Cannavaro, the last one to win it, so I think, I could be wrong on that, I'm fairly sure it was Cannavaro was the last to win it, so it's got to be Virgil van Dijk. If he doesn't win it, I don't know what to say. I'll talk about it at the time. I'm hoping that he does win it. Do you know if the Champions League final will be 2 weeks after the Premier League season ends? I don't know the date of it offhand, mate, but it is up on the UEFA website if you have a quick Google. I can tell you it's in the Ataturk Stadium in Istanbul, but I'm not sure exactly what date it is. Ella's just finished work. How are you, Ella? Welcome. Great to see you in. League and European double, anybody, said the COP Council. Yes, please, Connor, I'll have a little bit of that, mate. If you haven't checked it out, I know I said this earlier on, but I was last week I had a chat over on Connor's channel, the COP Council there. We had a chat about all things Liverpool during the international window. If you have a chance, please do go over, check it out, subscribe to Connor's channel. Another Liverpool fan, another Liverpool channel. There can never be too many as far as I'm concerned. So thank you very much for having me on, Connor, mate. It was a pleasure, and I will of course return the favour again soon. What else we got? I thought this was football, said Yaha Khan. Yeah, mate, that's the beauty of this. It can go off in any direction, buddy. Depends on what way the chat goes. But yes, we're going to get back to Liverpool because that's why most people are here, my friend. Right, what have you got? Done my starting 11 predictions. Oh, a little bit of transfer gossip, actually, ladies and gentlemen. So let me just get my notes up here. I always struggle to pronounce this gentleman's name, but Ugurkan Kakir? Is that the gentleman's name? His agent has been speaking about Liverpool's interest in signing the Trabzonspor goalkeeper. He said Liverpool are one of 4 English sides keeping close tabs on Ugurkan. Liverpool are amongst the sides interested in Kakir, and they've been monitoring his progress. Trabzonspor value Kakir as being worth a minimum of £18 million and will not sell him in January. An end of season move, however, could be on the cards. This is a goalkeeper. Kakir is a goalkeeper that we've been linked with now for, it must be a year. 18 million if he's going to come in as a backup seems like reasonable enough money, but it would have to be for a backup that looks like he could realistically challenge Alisson, because if not, Adrian will do fine. And Queevy and Kelleher, of course, coming through, but the links to Kakir haven't gone away and they've been there for quite a while, and to hear his agent come out and talk about it. Now, yes, of course, he could be trying to drum up interest in his player and he could be trying to get Trabzonspor a bit of a payday, but the links are there and they've been going back quite a while. I'm not going to lie, I know nothing about the guy. I haven't seen a minute of him playing football. All I know is that we've been linked to him for a while, and those links won't go away. Do I care more about the Club World Cup or the Carabao Cup? 100% the Club World Cup, mate. 100% Benjamin. We've never won the Club World Cup. Pep Linders was talking recently about it, and even he was saying that it's a pleasure to be part of that tournament. On the Club World Cup, thank you for bringing that up, because that brings me to something else. So the Copa Libertadores final takes place this weekend. There was a bit of confusion amongst the chat the other day. I think somebody thought it took place last weekend. And it will most likely determine who Liverpool will face in the Club World Cup final, should we get there in Qatar next month. Brazilian champions Flamengo take on Argentina's River Plate in Peru on Saturday. And the good news for everybody is you can watch it free to air in the UK, because it's on BBC 2 on Saturday at 7:45 p.m. if you want to watch and see who perhaps Liverpool could be facing in the World Club Cup final. River Plate against Flamengo. I mean, who doesn't like watching a bit of South American football anyway? So fair play to BBC for putting it on, and I'm probably going to watch it and see what the competition looks like, and I'm sure you guys will as well. So that's one piece of news around the Club World Cup. But yeah, that's for me. It's a tournament we've never won, mate, as a club, and one that to win, you got to win in Champions League to get into it, and you get that. I know I keep using the exact same phrase here, but that sexy ass gold badge. And I want to see that on Liverpool's New Balance kit, and then I want to see it at the start of next season on potentially a new Nike kit. But it's got to be the World Club Cup, mate. What else have we got here? Billy Lar said, do you think we'll be in for any Mourinho clear-outs at Spurs? I know what people want, and I've seen it all over social media, and I could get on board very easily, but I won't let myself believe that Liverpool will go after Son. I'd love him. He would fit into our system in a heartbeat. So I'd love Son, if that's where people are going with the conversation here. Will there be a Mourinho clear out? I don't know. Ericsson looks like he's going to head off. I think his Alderweireld's contract is up. Then I think Danny Rose has 18 months left on his deal. He said that he's not going to sign a new deal and he's going to leave when it's up. So Spurs are going to have to probably bring through some young players. Mourinho's spoken about the fact that he's looked at the squad that's there and he rates it highly. So maybe he knows he's not going to get much money, and he's already putting the groundwork in now to try and big up the squad that he has in place to raise the fans' expectations, I suppose, the players' confidence ahead of the rest of the season. What channel's the Club World Cup on? I don't know, is the honest answer. BT, if my memory serves me correct. This game, the Copa Libertadores final between Flamengo and River Plate, that's on BBC 2, but I think the Club World Cup's on BT, if my memory's right. State your name, cuz, please, says Stinky Feet. Bob Bobertson. Well known me, Bob Bobertson. Bob Bobertson, yep. Ask any barbers in the city, mate. Bob Bobertson. They'll know me by name. They know me by head. They know me by face. They know me by smell. They know me by touch. Yes, Bob Bobertson. That is I. Craig, you should set up a GoFundMe page on this channel to fund your kitchen. Oh, the slaughtering I'd get on social media, mate. Fucking hell. People basically, but the people that don't like me think I should be living in a fucking Wendy house in my back garden with no heating. I mean, I'm not entitled to have any type of a life whatsoever. No way will I start to GoFundMe page to fund my kitchen, mate. I mean, no, this is not going to happen. No. If I can't afford a kitchen, I can't afford a kitchen, mate. I ain't going funding to do it. We even don't have ads turned on the channel, mate. That lets you know kind of how little we give a fuck about money on here. Super chats are on, super stickers are on, but other than that, nah. I appreciate the sentiment though, mate, and I appreciate your support. But no, I won't be starting to GoFundMe for a fucking kitchen, mate. Oh, the cringiness, can you imagine? I'd be slaughtered, and rightly so. Depends if Spurs are going to give Jose any cash to spend, but like you said, I doubt he'll do any favours to the higher clubs. Don't think he'll be letting any players go from Spurs, said Willow. He'll keep what he's got and work with it. We don't need we don't want nor need Kane, said Lee Guy. Yeah, the Kano is a tricky one for me because I kind of get where you're coming from, Lee, in that, we don't need him or want him, but Christ, any club that had him, I mean, you're guaranteed goals, mate. That's one thing we'll say about Harry Kane is man scores goals. I won't belittle him by saying otherwise. I mean, I heard Stevie Nicol talk. I think it was Stevie Nicol talking about whether he'd have Firmino or Kane, and he said he loves Firmino, but he'd take Kane. I don't know. I don't know if I get rid of Bobby for anybody. I mean, you could drop Bobby back, in fairness, if you were playing Kane through the centre, but yeah, it's I look, the money Kane would cost as well. Can you imagine it? Ridiculous amounts. Can't wait to see Jose boil his piss when VAR does him out of a winner, said Billy Lar. Yeah, it's all fucking smiles and hugs and warm gestures from Jose at the minute, but eventually the real narky, snidey, fucking petulant Jose Mourinho will come to the surface, and that would end in disaster at Spurs. I mean, you can fucking quote me on this. There's no way that that's going to work out well long term. They might have a bounce when he comes in, but it will end like every Jose Mourinho relationship with clubs end, in bitterness, anger and snotty comments towards the media. Boya said, also seeing that Leicester is joint odds for Liverpool, Ryan Fraser, thoughts on that? I'm not really arsed on Ryan Fraser, Boya, one way or the other. It's I'm a bit spoiled at the minute with the level of players that we've brought in over the last few years, and Ryan Fraser doesn't really tickle me nuts too much, to be honest. He's one of those take it or leave it type of players, mate. Yeah, it doesn't excite me too much. So yeah, I don't really know what to say on that, Anthony. Yeah, I mean, you guys, I'd love to know a Leicester City perspective on it. The dugout is in. How are you, Douglas? Great to see you in, buddy. Welcome. I'm very well. Good. Glad to hear it, my friend. Kane would be more useless than a chocolate teapot in our team, said Bassett12. I like it. What other things have you got like that? So Bassett said a chocolate teapot. My uncle used to always say to me he'd be about as useful as an ashtray on a motorbike. And I know everybody has some of these cheesy ass phrases, so go on, give me the best of them. What do you got? Give me your cheesy ass phrases like an ashtray on a motorbike, a chocolate teapot, whatever it might be. Craig Mourinho was very confident at Tottenham, said Colin. Look, he's got into a really good situation, Colin, to be fair. He's got a decent enough squad there at Spurs. He might get a bit of investment because it's so important for Daniel Levy to keep Spurs in the Champions League because they've got that beautiful new stadium. And it is a magnificent new stadium. There's no snidey comments coming here from me, whatever. Spurs should hold their heads up high. That is a fucking wonderful new stadium that they have, and they deserve to be extremely proud of it. That being said, though, they're only 5 points off fifth or something like that. And they weren't performing for Pochettino for whatever reason. I mean, it's basically the same squad that got to a Champions League final there last year. Ortiz looked serious about his Wilder fight. I heard some comments there saying that he was going to knock him out this time. Credit as well to Deontay Wilder for giving Luis Ortiz the fight because, as you know, they both have daughters with disabilities, and I think that there was a bit of a gesture almost from Deontay Wilder to Luis Ortiz to give him this fight and help him, have money for his retirement and to look after his daughter. So for that, Wilder gets massive points from me. As much as Johnny Machine in the Vatican. I don't know about that, mate, though. There's a few jokes we could make about Johnny Machines in the Vatican. About as useful as a bag full of arseholes at Lens-Based Media. I'm sad to say, but I don't think we'll get a clean sheet. We got to get one sooner or later, though, V8, mate. Do you know what I mean? We've got to keep one sooner or later, so why not this week? What else have we got? Useless as a chocolate fire guard, said David Newell. About as useful as a donut hole. I mean, to be fair, Timbits. Any Canadians watching will know what Timbits are. I think they're the centre of a donut. What's the injury update? Talking about Robertson and Mohamed Salah, mate, and they're back training, but I don't think that either of them are going to make this game on Saturday, but that is just my opinion. I mean, I've no knowledge to say that they definitely won't be playing. My thought is that they won't play on Saturday, but they have been back training. Cow in the Sahara Desert, said Dyra. Much use as an inflatable dartboard, said Stephen Booker. Boy, I said I'm not that bothered by Fraser either. Good player, but Perez and Barnes are good players. Competition can only be a good thing, I suppose. But why would a player a level above what we have or on par would want a player a level above what we have or on par? As much use as an underwater hairdryer. I mean, I could see somebody getting an electric shock there. About as useless as a pair of trainers and a man with no legs. Did you see Gini got a hat-trick against Estonia? Yes, Colin. Absolutely delighted for Gini Ronaldo. He was captain in Holland that night as well, with Virgil van Dijk unavailable for personal reasons. Yeah, delighted for Gini. His great international form continues. And every time he goes away and does well with Holland, we have the clamours for why doesn't Jurgen Klopp play him further forward. There are different systems. There's a bit more freedom in the way the Dutch play. But yeah, love Gini Ronaldo. Delighted for him. Gary Richards, how are you, sir? Welcome in. Craig Emery is the next manager tipped to lose his job. Yeah, somebody at the very start of the stream, Colin, mate, mentioned that maybe Rafael Benitez could be back in as an Arsenal manager. Mohammed said, I just hope this game isn't like United or Villa. The last 2 times we've won, we've worn the white kit, we've gotten into trouble. Ooh, I didn't make that connection, Mohammed, mate. Yeah, I mean, I hope you're right. I mean, we got away with it, a Villa, to be fair. I just 3 points. I'm always nervous coming back after the international break for varying reasons. I mean, you've got players coming back from all over the world at different times, having been training differently with their international teams. So that's what worries me as well, buddy. But yeah, I hope we get the job done. Any type of a 3 points on Saturday is good enough for me. I don't care how it comes about. Logan Paul's trying to contest his decision with the KSI fight. I'd seen that he wanted to. I think he wants to appeal it to the California Boxing Commission because he believes the 2 point deduction was overly harsh or something like that. Craig, opinions on James Maddison? He's a wonderful footballer, Colin. My opinion is, though, and I know people don't like to hear this, but if I was advising James Maddison, or if I was James Maddison, I wouldn't budge for at least 18 months at Leicester. I think he's in a good spot. His football is progressing nicely. He's got a manager who knows how to get the best out of him, thinks very highly of him. The fans, the King Power, idolise him. He's still very young, so he's in no rush. The big moves will still be there for him in a year and a half. He'll want to develop into a more experienced international footballer as well. He could have European football next season as well with Leicester. So as much as I love him, and I do think he's a great footballer, if I'm advising him, I would tell him to stay put for at least 18 months, and those big moves will always be there for him. Apparently, De Ligt wants out of Juventus already, said Bassa12. Look, there's a fucking massive problem in world football, and it's agents. And Mino Raiola is one of the fucking worst of the lot. And I believe if my memory's right, he was De Ligt's agent. And I've seen a couple of people coming out about Raiola recently. And look, De Ligt got the move that he wanted. If it's not working out there, that's his own fucking problem. And, he can deal with it. He's young enough, he's getting enough money. If he's not developing enough, that's just De Ligt's problem, to be fair. I don't want him at Liverpool. I actually don't think he's as good as we all believed he was at first. But again, he's a young player learning, and you never write off a young player. I don't want to be overly critical of the guy, but I certainly don't want to be talking about him from a Liverpool perspective, because let him fucking stew, mate. Leave him. Juventus is a wonderful club, by the way. Turin's a beautiful city, and they've got a fantastic, shiny new stadium. Well, it's a few years old now. So yeah, look, I'm not trying to be little Juventus, but fuck De Ligt, as far as I'm concerned. About as useful as Gary Neville at Valencia. I love that one. Well in Lens-based media, mate. That's class. This is Ollie at the wheel, said Willow. I mean, when you're right, Wendy. Best pickup line you'd use on a girl. Mate, have you not seen what I look like? Don't need a pickup line. I just need to say, love, I'm here. Do you know what I mean? In the flesh, live. Come get you some. I don't know, mate. I'm too old. I've been with my missus 19 years now. Been with her since I was, 19 years of age. So, yeah, I don't have pickup lines, mate. I don't have one that I'd use. And I don't know. So it would be something funny. It would be something so obviously cheesy and funny that it was blatant what I was trying to do. But God, I'd love some good chat-up lines if anybody has any for the laugh as well. As useful as an ice cream maker to an Eskimo. I mean, they might like ice cream, Liz, to be fair. Does Chamberlain deserve to continuously start? I think, Bradley, he does. As things stand, mate, the way he's playing, and the confidence that he's playing with as well. Yes, I mean, deserve, I mean, deserve is a tricky word, but I would like him to start. I've been trying to bang the drum for him to start now for a while. And if he doesn't start this game, I would be amazed if he doesn't start against Napoli on Wednesday. He's going to play one of the two. I'm absolutely certain of that. Poch at Manchester United before Christmas, if they had any sense. There has been some talk about potentially Pochettino going to Bayern Munich. What happens, I guess we'll have to wait and see. He won't be short of offers. And apparently the deal that he has with Spurs is he's going to be paid his redundancy money, if that's the right word, in installments. And if he takes up a new job, then those staggered payments will cease immediately upon him taking up a new job. As much use as Emery at Arsenal, said Douglas. What else we got? Your chair is so nice. Thank you, mate. People often comment on the chair, and the chair comes from a company called Serendipity Furniture, and I believe there's still a link to Serendipity Furniture in the stream description. If there isn't, then check them out on Facebook and on Instagram and on Twitter. I think it's easiest to contact them on Facebook or Instagram, I believe. But yeah, Serendipity Furniture, Paul and Beth are the husband and wife team behind Serendipity Furniture, and they made this beautiful chair for me. I've got news that I want to share with you all, but I can't until it's confirmed. But somebody else contacted them about a chair. I mean, when I say superstar, I mean fucking superstar. But it's not my business to say so. So, word's getting round about Serendipity Furniture. And as always, that discount still applies to any Anfield Agenda subscribers that want to go over there and inquire about one of these bad boys. And people that view the channel a lot know that it also has the Liverbird and my surname embroidered on the chair as well, which makes it even better from my perspective, and it takes pride of place in my living room. But yeah, if you want to contact Paul and Beth, just say that either you're an Anfield Agenda subscriber, or just say that the big bald nonce from Anfield Agenda sent you over, and they'll know who you're talking about. And yeah, there's £100 discount off one of these chairs for any Anfield Agenda subscriber. So if you like it, go check them out. Like anything else, you get what you pay for. They are an expensive piece of furniture, but they're a bespoke piece of furniture as well. Each chair comes with a 2-year leather manufacturer or 2-year leather warranty and a 10-year structural warranty. As well as the input that you get along the way. I should say that as well. The design input that you get at every stage of the way from Serendipity Furniture, absolutely quality. And I could well be back for more stuff down the line, because this chair, I'm fucking in love with it, mate. I absolutely idolise it. Right, what else have we got? Let me just check my notes, because I know there's a lot to get through. Also, Liverpool have brought in a specialist sports psychologist, Lee Richardson, who it's believed will work with the players 3 days a week and will have an office at Melwood. And I'm a massive fan of any type of psychology, as you guys know. I see one myself every Tuesday. And if I was a football player, if I was a sports person, I would absolutely love to work with a sports psychologist. And Lee Richardson is one of the best in the business. We've worked with Dr. Steve Peters in the past. You guys know Steve Peters wrote a book called The Chin Paradox. I have it. If you haven't read it, please read it if you have any interest in sports psychology and stuff like that. Not even sports psychology, just about channeling your own chimp, shall we say, your own inner chimp. Excellent book, and it's great to see that Liverpool, again, looking to get any little tiny edge that we can, and bringing in sports psychologist Lee Richardson can only be a good thing in my eyes. So I'd love to know your opinion on that, but for me, that's a massive plus. Okay, what else have we got? A few more bits and pieces. Yep. Oh, more fucking transfer news as well. Transfer news keeps coming thick and fast, actually. Has my screen frozen? I think it has, you know. Stream's live. Can somebody just give me a thumbs up to let me know that I'm still live at your end? Because either that or the stream is frozen for me, but something isn't working right at my end. And I hate when it does. Ah. Okay. Okay. Okay, we're back. Are we good? Sorry, on my end, my computer was telling me that this page isn't responsive. I hope we're all good. It's looking like we're good. Dave sent me a message. Good, I'm on. Good stuff. Grand. I was just fiddling around with it because on my end, my computer said to me that the page wasn't responsive. So, grand. We're back live. Cool. Let me keep going then. Apology for that, ladies and gentlemen, but this is the joys of me being an idiot and you guys having to put up with me. Actually, it's the first time I think my MacBook has acted up a little bit on me on a stream in a while. So apologies on that one. Let me just flick around with a few more settings here. Make sure I didn't miss any more super chats because I hate when I do that. Cool. Right, I think I'm back. Where's that? Go back up. Nice one. Apologies, ladies and gents. See, it's those situations where I'm worried that I'm going to say something that gets me into fucking trouble. Because I thought I was off there, so I could have literally been saying anything and landed myself in a whole heap of trouble there. But thankfully, we're all good. Someone needs to do a commentary on the faces Craig was making there. Yeah, please do. Share it with me if you do. No vinegar stroke looking faces, I hope. Nobody needs to see that. Me when I can't remember an exam question. Oh look, I told you guys, I am a technical idiot. When anything goes wrong, you're surprised my tongue wasn't out because usually it's a bit of as I'm doing stuff like that. It was your end, Craig. You broke the interweb thingy. Yeah, it was the flux capacitor. As always, Pap, mate. That's the problem when these things go wrong. So, Turkish newspaper Fanatic have reported that Besiktas could be about to pull a U-turn on making Loris Karius' deal there permanent. So all the talk over the past couple of months has been that Karius, they don't want him. They were looking at Fulham's keeper, I can't remember the guy's name now, Fabry, is that his name? They were looking at him and thinking that he's going to be the man to come in and replace Loris Karius. Well, Fnatic, it looks like, have suggested that they're about to pull a U-turn on there, and it says that a deal could be done for Loris Karius for an additional €8 million on top of what they paid as a loan fee, which I think, off the top of my head, was about £2 million. But they want to pay for him over 4 years at €2 million a year, which isn't unusual for transfers, as you guys know. Often it's paid over the length of the contract. So, what do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Any thoughts on him moving? I always said even if that deal didn't work out, if Karius came back to Liverpool, it would be for a very short time before he was moved on potentially to Germany. But I hope it works out for him over there in Besiktas. But yeah, they need to stop fucking flip-flopping on this because I've heard so many different stories. Sabrina has gone offline, get the coke out. Not joking, Stephen. I was just about to scream upstairs before came back on and the stream kept going. Yeah, you were about to get exactly as you suggested. Although I don't need the coke problem because I've got that here. That's always close by. You should know that by now, mate. Do the deal now, said Dave Sweeney, with regards to Loris Karius. Good riddance to Karius. That's a bit harsh, John. Whatever we think about him or whether he's good enough or not, what happened in the Champions League final, he did not fucking mean to happen, mate. He wanted the ground to open him up and swallow him. Not open him up. I'm sure he just wanted the ground to open up and swallow him. There was no need for the ground to open him up. That would probably be a bit over the top. Any pounds we get for Karius is good. Thought we'd only be loaned out until his contract ran out. No, there was a deal in place, mate. I thought that the deal was for 12 million, the loan to buy deal, but of course they'll probably try to renegotiate that. And if you got 8 million on top of the 2, which was €8 million, so that's about 6.5 million quid, something like that. On top of the 2, you're still almost doubling the money that you paid for him when we signed them. Bye bye Karius, thanks and you'll never walk alone, said Billy. Do I think we will get Sancho? I think we are genuinely going to be in the conversation. I think we are genuinely interested. I know from hearing Jurgen Klopp talk about him before that Jurgen Klopp's an admirer of Jadon Sancho. Jurgen Klopp did an interview recently where he said that many of the world's biggest footballers now want to come and play for Liverpool Football Club. We know we've got the potential Nike kit manufacturer deal coming up. We know that we brought in a shit ton of money over the last year, 250 million in television revenue from the Premier League and the Champions League. We're bringing in new sponsors all the time. Look, we're just in a really good place financially, so we could absolutely afford to go out and buy Jadon Sancho. And I think there could be something to this. I'm not saying he's our player, far from it. United will be interested. There's talk Paris Saint-Germain will be interested. And whatever you think about where United are as a club right now, don't ever doubt the financial capabilities of Manchester United because they have very fucking deep pockets. But if I'm looking at it from a footballing perspective, we'd have to be right up there. We'd have to be one of his first choices. From what I've read as well, I think he is interested in coming back to the Premier League. The only qualms I'd have about Jadon Sancho, as I've pointed out before, is there's been a couple of occasions at Dortmund where he's had run-ins with the managerial team because he's been late back from international duty or he's been late to training. I think he was sent to train with the younger team on a couple of occasions and he's been dropped as well. But he's still young, and if Jurgen Klopp has an interest in him, that stuff will all be vetted well in advance and he will have been watched for a very long time. So I think there could be something to it, you know. I don't want to get too excited about it. And everybody who mentions Timo Werner, you've got my back. I've got your back on this as well, 100%. Timo Werner seems like a no-brainer for me at the price as well that we're talking about. But I think there could be something to the Sancho stuff, you know. Rabadam said, just got in. Do you think Son will come to us? No. But not because I don't like him. I would take him tomorrow, mate, in a heartbeat, without a shadow of a doubt. There's very few players that I look at and think we could tomorrow put them in our starting 11 and they will come in there and do a job. And Son is a wonderful footballer. I love him. I love his attitude. I love how much playing the sport means to him. You could see obviously the latest incident where he was involved in the tackle that broke someone's leg. You could see how upset he was. He's a good guy, Son, and I'd love him at the club, but no, I can't see it happening. I mean, I can't see Mourinho letting him go. But maybe Mourinho doesn't like him. Maybe Mourinho will come in, have a look and think, you know, Harry Kane and Lucas Moura are more my type of player. And maybe he would let Son move on. But if there was even a sniff of Son being available, I would be all over it from a Liverpool perspective. Love the guy. I think he's a wonderful footballer. Fit in our system, as I said. No problem whatsoever. John Hamilton said, rather have Werner than Sancho myself. Yeah, it's a difficult argument to make when you're talking about maybe 30 million for Timo Werner and what was it, 140 million euro, which is about 110, 115 million pound for Jadon Sancho, almost 4 times the money. I absolutely understand why anybody would be saying they'd lean towards Werner. Sometimes when I'm making these things, I try and take the financial aspect out of it, as difficult as that might be at times. But I love Timo Werner. You guys know this. I've made no secret in the past the fact that I wanted Liverpool to sign Christian Pulisic before he went to Chelsea. But yeah, Sancho, I think the next couple of months will tell us a lot on this one. Stuff will start to come out. Cape Town Muslims in the house. How are you, sir? Welcome. Niall Borman is in. Said, I think Werner and Son to United. Never say never, mate. Although from Daniel Levy's perspective, the Son thing to United wouldn't really make much sense to go and strengthen a rival like that, because I suppose United would be top 4 rivals at this point. Well, not at this moment in time, but in the medium to long term. Werner, I could see why United would be interested in Werner, but I don't know if the buyout clause would apply to Manchester United, because from what I remember, and this could be bullshit, but I remember reading something about that the 30 million is only for specific clubs in the Champions League that are ranked in the top 10 or something like that. But then again, a lot of this is just gossip. Havertz, said Bassett 12. Everything I've read on Havertz suggests that he is potentially going to leave Leverkusen at the end of the season. Real Madrid has been a club that he's been linked to over the past while, but then again, who hasn't been linked to Real Madrid? He did speak about the fact that he's prepared to go and leave the Bundesliga. But yeah, I don't know. I've not seen concrete links to Kai Havertz. I've seen us fans talking about him, but I've yet to really see the media link us to Kai Havertz in any serious way. Although, you know, the media aren't always right. Not many of them, if any of them, had a sniff about the Fabinho transfer before that happened. And God, what a beautiful day that was. Shaqiri is back, said Becca. Yep, he is back. The calf injury has been put to bed. And yeah, he'll be looking to make an impact over this busy festive period as well. I think it's all about the Moneyball thing. The Moneyball thing doesn't exist, mate. The Moneyball thing is a figment of some people's imaginations. It existed in baseball. It doesn't exist in the Premier League for Liverpool under FSG. They learned their lessons very quickly when they came in and they trusted the wrong people and they bought the wrong players, and they spunked a load of money. But they got a manager in then and a group in that they trust and believe in. And now you're starting to see the manager being backed seriously in the market. Anyone who signs for United, their career will go down the drain fast, said Badger. I mean, I don't honestly, putting aside the fact that I absolutely fucking despise Manchester United, I don't know why anybody would want to go there at the minute. I mean, who the fuck wants to play under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for a club that a lot of players are looking to get out of? That the players that they've managed to keep hold of, like David De Gea, they've had to pay ridiculous wages. I mean, record-breaking wages just to keep players at the club. Alexis Sanchez absolutely took the piss out of them when he was there. Pogba wants to get out as soon as possible. Rashford, decent young player there. Martial, another good young player. But the club is in trouble. The club needs 6, 7, 8 serious transfers and a decent manager in there. And I do not rate Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as a manager. Not in any way, shape or form. Got Cardiff relegated. Who gives a fuck what he did with Mulder, to be quite frankly about it. Or Mold, I'm not sure which way you pronounce it. No disrespect to them as a club, but he's got no experience. He shouldn't have got that job. And it's shown right now. I mean, it's shown where they are. Every time they get one result, the fucking media jumps up to try and say, this is it, they've turned the corner, they're coming back. Nah, they're not. They're shit. They prove to be shit. And they'll spunk a load of money probably in the next couple of windows in the hope that they can be better than they have been in the market recently. I mean, Mourinho spent something like 450 million when he was at Manchester United. For what? What did they do? Yes, you can say they won the Europa League. Whoop, they fucking do. They won a couple of domestic trophies. But they weren't even close to challenging for the Premier League. He'll tell you that he finished second in the Premier League, but he finished a long, long way back in second and never really looked like challenging. Man United trying to turn into a player holiday camp, said Joe Tony. Man United ain't what they used to be. Hey, old Man United, they ain't what they used to be. Ain't what they used to be. Don't know why I started singing that song. Only desperate players will go to Manchester United, or those who want a bit of those type of players. Unless you supported Manchester United your entire life, then maybe. Look, they still are deemed the big club around the world, and financially, as I said earlier on, they're fucking huge, but they are, as we were, maybe 10, 12 years ago, and football is cyclical, as Farrell has said to me on many occasions, and right now, Liverpool's right at the tip of world football, and it's beautiful to see. Who was my favourite Liverpool player ever? Ever? Robbie Fowler, but you're saying in the 80s. Ooh, John Barnes, probably towards the end of the 80s. Yes, I would probably say Barnes for the 80s. Willow said he's good. He's been filming today. He's going to be there tomorrow at 8 a.m. for Hollyoaks. Hoping to do a lot more stuff. I don't know what that's about, but I'm sure it's a family member that's starting out their acting career. So I hope that it all goes well. Brian said, I think I mentioned it earlier, but the fact that Kirby is on schedule and on budget is almost unheard of in today's market. Big building projects and football clubs always go over. And usually double, Brian, mate. Not just go over, mate, but as you said, they usually absolutely fly up. And yeah, fair play. 50 million was the budget. It's on time and on budget, as you said. And again, that's testament to FSG's groundwork that they put in place. And of course, the team of architects and builders that they brought on to get the job done. Obviously, they've got a lot of experience in that field, and fair play to them. Cormac Slattery said, did you hear if Chelsea have their transfer ban uplifted? It hasn't been done yet, mate, as far as I know. The hearing for the Court of Arbitration for Sport, I think it's taking place soon. I think, is it Bruce Buck, is that the Chelsea chairman? I've seen him talking and he seemed quite confident that might get it overturned. But it will be heard and done before the January window, that much I'm sure of. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. Will they try and sign Ben Chilwell? Would Ben Chilwell leave Leicester City at the minute? I mean, again, much like we spoke about Maddison earlier on, things are going well for Ben Chilwell right now at Leicester City, and again, I'd advise him to stay there and develop a little bit longer. Mould won the Norwegian League without Sonny, said Robert Am. There you go. But like, no, I'm not going to say that because I don't want to belittle the Norwegian League, so I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Going to see Rian and the family on Monday, so I'll try and get some info, said Blue. Please do. I mean, tell the man to send me a signed fucking picture, please. Gentlemen, I love a signed Rian Brewster picture. But most importantly, Blue, please do pass on all our love to Rian and tell him that we've all got his back and we're all looking forward to seeing him become an absolute superstar. It was your son, Willow. That's class. Nice one. I hope it goes well. And please do pass on our regards. Emery is thinking about bringing Xhaka back in. Opinions on that? It's entirely his decision, mate. I mean, he stripped him of the captaincy, and I think that was the right thing to do. I mean, whoever they're playing will be happy because Xhaka is absolute dog shit. So apart from that, I don't really have much of an opinion on it, mate. Yeah, I mean, he's the manager. He's paid to make the big decisions, and yeah, I'm not really arsed about Granit Xhaka. I don't like him as a footballer. I don't rate him as a footballer. I thought it was so funny when Rashford scored the free kick against Chelsea. Then suddenly, according to United fans, he was the best free kick taker in the league. Yeah, after hitting 500 into the stands before that or so. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. I don't want to belittle Marcus Rashford because I actually do quite rate Marcus Rashford as a footballer. But yeah, there is a long way for him to go, shall we say. It's funny because United won't be like this in 5 years, said Niall Borman. 2-0, are you mad? Craig, I think 4-0 or 3-0. I will be happy to be wrong on that one, Grog, mate. More than happy. If it's 3-0 or 4-0, I'm going to be a very happy man, like I'm sure you are. Who would you rather win the league, Arsenal or Tottenham? If you asked me that question 5 days ago, I would have, without a fucking blink, said Tottenham. But now that arrogant, moaning, conniving fucker is managing that club, Arsenal, probably. Yeah, God, I hate myself saying that. Yeah, I hate myself saying that. But probably Arsenal now because I hate Mourinho so much. Craig, expect your kitchen project cost to double. Mate, it looks like it's dead and buried. As I said, we went out and got some quotes the other day, and it looks like it's just a little bit out of our price range, but enough out of our price range that we don't want to overstretch financially. So unfortunately, it looks like the kitchen project is dead and buried at this moment in time. But shit happens. You don't always get what you want in life. You just move on. You have a shave, Craig. You look 50. No, not having a shave, mate. No. How dare you say I look 50? Fucking hell, that's to be an immediate ban. 50? Jesus Christ. Not even 40, mate. 50? That's awfully vicious. And I thought you were my mate. 50? God almighty. Arsenal said don't want Spurs to win any trophies. Said Badger. Next manager for United. God. I mean, Pochettino's the obvious answer, but I think he may go to Bayern. I honestly don't know. I really, really don't know. Allegri could be a good show for United. A strong, stable manager. Used to playing in Europe and used to winning things when he was at Juventus. But I don't know, mate, after that. But whoever it is, I hope they're as shit as possible. And I hope United stay as shit as they are. I think Salah has a chance of playing. He's on my dream team, said Greg. Or Grog, excuse me. I don't think he'll play, mate. I think that I'd be even shocked if he played on Wednesday against Napoli. I think Mohamed Salah is the further away of the two of them. But it's just guesswork. I know he's been back training. I just don't see the need to risk him. If there's any doubt whatsoever with the busy period that we have coming up in December, I wouldn't chance him. Emery's looking at houses everywhere but London, said Brian Morrissey. Do you think Ireland will make the Euro, said Colin. Slovakia is going to be difficult away, and then I think we face the winner of the Northern Ireland game, so 2 difficult games to get through. It's possible. We're hard to beat. It's scoring goals that's the problem, but I wouldn't be putting money on it, but it is possible. That'll be the Coke it ages you, said Stephen Booker. How dare you, sir? Coke and Kyo's is like the fountain of youth, I'll have you know. Kyo's Crisps, what a company, what a shout out, what a love life. God, I love Kyo's Crisps. Do you know what? True story, and I'm not even joking here. My local Tesco were out of cheese and onion Kyo's for 2 weeks. So I had to go to fucking Dublin to get my Kyo's. I shit you not. I went all the way to Dublin and got Kyo's up there because they couldn't be got in Gorey for some reason. I don't know why. Craig, you look 25, mate. You look like my friend's dad. 25, I'll take it. Douglas, thank you for the super chat, mate. Said, how am I feeling about Slovakia versus Ireland? Will you go through? Scotland could face Hungary, Bulgaria, Israel or Romania. If I'm Scotland, I'm probably hoping for Romania out of that group of teams. But look, for us, mate, it's... If it was the Aviva, I would say, yeah, we're beating Slovakia, but we're away for that game, so it's going to be difficult. But we are difficult to beat. I think we might get through that game on penalties, you know. I think that might go all the way. But then a playoff against Northern Ireland, if they were to win their semi-final, that would be interesting. Yeah, that would be intriguing. But no, I wouldn't put money on it. I'm hopeful, like every other Irish person, but I wouldn't put money on it. Rest Salad and Rob O'Neill till it'll pay off in the long term, said Billy. Is it bad for football United being in the state because they have a huge fan base unless people would watch the Premier League? No, I don't think so now. I get where you're coming from, mate. I genuinely do. But Liverpool were in this position not so long ago as well. And what tends to happen is new people come into the league, new fans, should we say, the sport. I mean, how many Manchester City fans have you seen pop up out of the woodwork in the past 5 years? Leicester City fans popping up when they won the Premier League. Liverpool fans when we won the Champions League and maybe potentially the Premier League this year. So I don't think it's bad for football, mate. And it is cyclical, like we talk about. And United will come back around again. But it's very, very hard to stay at the top for a very long period of time. And they did well to stay there as long as they did under Sir Alex Ferguson. So I don't think it's necessarily bad for the sport. But it's bad for United fans. And that's always a good thing for me. What do you make of the derisory final one-match ban for David Silva? Look, it's very difficult to talk about race issues and stuff like that, Malcolm. I don't think there was any racial intent behind it, but it was very racially insensitive. He got banned. He got a fine. How long that ban is, I mean, who am I to say? Do you know what I mean? I do think it was fucking cringy and it wasn't right. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's about right. Maybe one game longer, but again, about intent for me. A lot of the time, language and the way it's used is important and the context it's used in. And I don't think he intended any racial abuse in what he did, but it was still wrong. You growing a beard. I can't grow a beard, Daryl, but I guess this is my attempt at growing a beard, buddy. I don't have enough facial hair to grow a beard. But yeah, I haven't shaved in about 5 days. A lot because I've been sick and too fucking lazy to bother shaving. When you've got to shave your head, throwing the face in at times is a big effort when you're tired. I almost felt like just sitting in the shower, just letting the water just bounce off my bald head. I was that sick for the past couple of weeks. City equals plastic fan, said Niall. Got to go, Craig. Love it. Reds and Connor. We'll see you on match day. PJ, enjoy yourself, mate. I'll chat with you soon. Lol, the stream went off again. Did it? I don't know. You're the only person that's mentioned it, mate. I don't know if it did or not. I don't know. If it did, it did. You were worried about Leicester or Chelsea? Neither. I don't think either will. I think they'll both finish top 4. But I think Manchester City will be our closest contenders for the Premier League title. So I'm not really worried about either of them. But I do think they'll do well. I don't mean it in that way. A few people saying it did buffer for them for a second. There you go. Well, sure, look, I'll be heading off in a minute anyway, so we won't need to worry about it. I did a 30-second offline before, I said, Dan. You did buffer, but it took a year off you. I'll take it, Billy, mate. I'll absolutely take it. Look, ladies and gents, I'm not sure what the plan is tomorrow. I'm not sure if there's a stream or there isn't a stream, so make sure you keep your notifications turned on. Look, my wife's even come in now to throw the boot in. Pearl, Craig can't grow a beard. I would say I could even grow a better one. Well, so would I, love. Do you know what I mean? When you're right, you're right. Maybe if we could combine yours with mine, we could get one full beard. Do you know what I mean? Even you, bitch, you aren't able to come into the channel and say something without getting a dig back, love, and you're only sitting 50 foot behind me or so. I'm a brave man on here, but let's see how brave I am in the kitchen when I finish this stream. Right, what have we got? Remember when Cantona did his kung fu kick? All he got was community service. He got a 6-month ban or something, Lee. He was out of football for at least 6 months, if my memory's right. If it makes you feel better, I can never grow a beard, said Doug. It doesn't really, mate, but I appreciate the thought, but it doesn't make me feel any better. Craig, why don't I wear a wig? Why would I? I've said this before, mate. I'm actually not really bald. Like, yeah, I have a little bit where there's like some hair loss here for sure, but no, I could grow hair if I wanted to. I just feel dirty with hair. I've said this to you before. The reason I shave my head, I mean, yeah, there's some baldness going there with it, I would say, yes, but The reason I shave my head is because I feel dirty with hair on my head. It's got nothing to do with the baldness. I just like having a shaved head. Right, what have we got? 50 foot. How big is your house? 51 foot, Dave. I know the 50 foot was probably a fucking massive exaggeration. Maybe if I go around the edges of the house, mate, and go diagonally then back through it. But yeah, there you go. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I will probably talk to you good people tomorrow. But if not, don't forget that we'll be doing a watch along of the game against Crystal Palace on Saturday, starting at 2:30 p.m. We'll finish that up with our post-match show as well. Until then, take care of your families, tell your loved ones that you love them. Thank you for all of you for joining in. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, turn notifications on before you head off, and up the motherfucking Reds. Love to you all.